Hey guys, nice to see Gang Dog here again. So earlier this week, I asked you all to send me your questions, any that you have for me, and you guys are all awesome. You sent me so many questions, a lot of questions actually. Very, very intimidating. So yeah, I'm gonna try to answer today as many as I can, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy the answers that you hear. So yeah, thank you guys again for doing that for me, and now here are your answers. Alright, question number 1. How did you come up with your design for the dog, the costume, and everything around it? So, I like to do things in super, basic, small elements, because I find that, a lot of things, especially when you're creating, they take time and they need to evolve. So, when I did everything for the dog, I started off very simply because I believed that anything I wanted to come up with that was, super detailed and super intricate and made him really awesome would come over time and he would grow into it himself. So I started off with the basics. I wanted a dog, I wanted a dog that was different, larger than life. So I made sure that the color that he was, wasn't brown, wasn't a typical dog fur color. So I did green, because green, I felt like with myself too, as my own personality as a human, I have a lot of energy, and I think the color green reflected that well if I were to bring that into the dog, because let's be honest, I'm not going to come up with a completely new character, that isn't inspired at all by myself. There's going to be a little bit of me in there too. So I made sure that I did a color that reflected that, and green I thought was the best choice. And of course I also threw in the colors purple and black everywhere. Purple because I thought that was a really nice complementary color to green, and it kind of made it still a bit more serious than just a fun green color, it was that extra contrast of, we're still awesome, we're still serious, we're still cool. And black because, just it ties it all together, gotta keep the frame awesome with black too. So that's how I came up with the colors. And yeah, and next the logo is awesome. So I had a lot of different artists design my dog. I'm a music creator, not an artist. So I had a lot of artists design him, I come up with concept arts, and one of the people, Valhund, actually also included this logo too, because Valhund was helping design all the costumes, and one of the concepts had the logo on there, and I was like, that's awesome, let's do that. And now the logo is a staple for, the brand, for all the music and performances and fun times with Green Singing Dog. Yep. So that's how, I wanted to make sure it was all simple, and over time, a dog being this singing musician with these awesome clothes and this awesome brand over time would, figure himself out. And it has. It's been awesome. Alright, next question. What is your thought process when writing music? So same thing with the dog idea and the basics of that. I also try to keep the music super simple when I start. Over time, I like to make it awesomely complex, but I always like the music itself to grow. So that's how I take it on the first steps of actually writing the music. And it's always in 2 parts. The first part is just like the audio musical element. I usually make that a melody of some kind that I haven't completely figured out. And it's always accompanied by some kind of like basic groove rhythm in the back of my head. So that's the first part, is the actual audio part. And the second part is what I'm going to talk about in the song. I'm not saying actually have a whole list of lyrics down. I don't do that till later. I just know what I'm going to talk about. And it has to make sense with the audio of the melody and the rhythm. So that's kind of how I do it. I have these really basic elements, ideas for the songs, and then over time they're going to create themselves and grow, especially when I start doing the recording and I start getting the sample instruments in as well. It all kind of figures itself out. So I want to make sure I don't figure out everything right away and let it figure out itself. So that's how I do that. Alright, another question. What inspired you to make music in a costume? Yeah, I know this isn't conventional, most music artists, it's hot enough on stage with the lights, but I decided to take a step further and be in a costume. And actually, it's a ton of fun. But what actually was the inspiration for that was I was at a Super Bowl party probably 5 years ago. Yeah, a Super Bowl party. Americans and their Super Bowls. Basically, I was watching a halftime show, and there was, I can't remember the performer on stage. Wow, that was so long ago to me. But there was a performer on stage, and I guess one of the side clips, the B-roll of when they were filming the halftime show live, was there was some mascot off the side, and I was like, it's weird that separated, at least have him on stage. Hell, maybe even have him, performing as the halftime show performer. If he had enough, following and was known and was received well and was really fun music to listen to, I was like, why don't we do that? Why don't we try, having this pop rock musician that isn't just a person, but is, and not a mascot either, but is like his own identity animal. He's like his own thing, but still an animal and still, regards himself as like this musical performer. And was how we started with NIIC Singing Dog. It was just kind of this weird idea, and I was like, maybe I'll check out if a lot of people have done this already. And, it was really a small amount of people who kind of had the same idea of what I wanted to do. And I was like, well, it's kind of a small batch of inspiration to work from, but, I would like to try and tackle this myself too. And now we are 5 years later plus, and I'm still doing NIIC Singing Dog, and he's getting bigger and better every year with more performances and rocking out with more people. So that's where it all came from. A Super Bowl party. Haha. All right, next question. I get this question actually a lot, when I'm out of the costume too, by other people. But the next question is, how do you have so much energy all the time? It's kind of a weird thing that I do. I find that if I keep myself happy, and by happy I mean like energy, pepped up, kind of reacting to things, in a very positive way, it kind of like, it's contagious. And not just to other people, but to myself too. Especially when I'm feeling down or, I'm not having the best mood. I find that like, if I have this kind of, behavior, mentality where I'm always kind of peppy and light, it kind of, forces my inner self, if I'm having like a grumpy day, to liven up a bit. And over time that became a habit that I can't get out of. But it's a really fun habit, and I actually meet a lot of more people that way and have a lot better experiences just by changing the way my behavior is. And as you notice with this dog, it's actually the cornerstone of what he is. Not just from his color, but the way that, my mannerisms are in the costume and the way that I sing and perform live at bars and festivals, it all kind of, it's this continuous habit, that's really fun. And I can't break out of it at this point. It's too late. I can't break out of it. But it's a really good behavior and mindset that I've grown for so many years, and it's been awesome. And you should totally try it sometime. If you're ever feeling crappy, you should totally try and change the way that your behavior is. They say like laughing is contagious, happiness is contagious, just the same way. So yeah, that's how I have so much energy all the time. It was this habit that I just keep doing, and it's fun. And the next question, when is your next album? Yes, I have a next album. First off, there is a next album. Yay! Party. Yeah, and it's actually coming out this year. I want to have a holiday single, but right before the holiday season, I want to release my next album, which is called Escape the Humans. It's going to be a really fun album. I'm super excited to be performing it. All my remaining shows for the year, I'm going to incorporate songs from that to give you all kind of a taste. So if you see me live, look out for those new songs and you're like, what is he singing? I don't know what this is. It's because it's from my new album that I'm working really, really hard on. And that's going to be coming out, like I said, towards the end of the year. There will be a pre-order happening, because pre-orders are fun. There's always extra stuff I like to throw in there too. You can't have enough fun with an album. So I always do a pre-order, so stay out for all of that. Stay on the lookout for that. But yes, towards the end of this year, I will have my next album out. Escape the Humans. Escape the Humans! Yep. Alright, so the next question. What brought you into doing music in the first place? What made you decide to make a career out of it? So, yeah, I've always wanted to do music ever since I was, like, little. So forever, basically. When I was growing up, I had a lot of musical influences. My parents would always play things like Fleetwood Mac, Cher. When I was a kid, I started getting into, it was the 90s, so I started getting into all the pop artists. I got into Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys. I was that kid, I was that kid. So I always liked the idea of, the pop performer, the person who wasn't just a singer, but was their own total identity, all centered around their music. I really thought that was a cool concept that was, super delved into. That was really, intricate. And I always wanted that for, what I wanted to do when I was adult and moving on in the world was, someone with a musical identity that would go around and perform for people, and that would be a really fun thing to do. Found out it's a lot of work, and very hot, very sweaty, but it's been so much fun these past 5 years, touring around, meeting so many new people, and I'm so happy to say that what I wanted to do as a kid, I'm doing now. It's crazy. It's awesome. But yeah, inspiration was from when I was a kid, always around music. I eventually went up going to music school at the university, so that's kind of all, from the start of me being a person, it's always been what I wanted to do. Yay, woo! Thank you guys so much for sending me all your questions. I love how many I got. I got a ton of them. Woo! Almost too many. No, I'm just kidding. But I do want to post another video where I include a lot of other questions because there are a lot, and I love to spend time answering them and getting back to all you guys. I love that you were so awesome enough to send me all these. I'm glad you're into it and into what I'm doing and want to learn more. So I will have another video up soon with a lot of other questions and their answers, so stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned for my album, Escape the Humans, coming out at the end of this year. There'll definitely be a pre-order for that. Get on the pre-order. The pre-orders are always fun. I always include new special things in there too that aren't on the actual album, so it's always a fun way to get ahead of the line for your actual CD and get some extra things too. So yeah, like I said, stay tuned for the next questionnaire, and yeah, let's do it. Woo! Thanks, guys.
What up? I'm Nice the Singing Dog, and you're awesome! Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm a green singing dog with fun rocking music, and I've got plenty more coming your way. So click around me to watch some more awesome videos, and check out the link to my website so you can stay in on all the action. See you around!